Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to today's meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. Remind any public that may be watching that this is being audio and video recorded. And I'm looking for an approval of the agenda for today's meeting, May 15th, 2025.
Yep, I approve.
Thank you, and
A second.
thank you, Meryl. Just first checking for any public comment. I think Brandon probably is here for the one of Miss Weatherly's approvals. Any comments from the public? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move right to Miss Weatherly.
Great. Thank you for having me back, you guys. So first, we have a event from STAR, which is a local nonprofit. They are looking to use Children's Beach on May 22nd from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. with a rain date on May 27th. They're having a small celebration with the kids in their program and their families. So it would be about 20 people. And in tangent with that, they're also having a documentary being filmed about the nonprofit and the work that they do. So a small film crew of 2 people wants to film B-roll, but they said that it would only be of the participants and the area on the bandstand and not of any of the attendees at the beach, not attendees, the public,
Right.
I should say. And that's what I got for the application. And they couldn't be here today due to other work obligations. So if you have any questions, it's just me.
Well, it's a wonderful organization that does great things for a critical population. So I don't have any questions. Nikki or Meryl?
No, absolutely not. It's a great organization.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I approve.
And second, and all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
It's
Mike,
unanimous. Meryl?
I just wanted to point out that there was on the agenda a June meeting date discussion. I don't know what that was.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Thank you. Well, I'll move now that we've approved that one. Let's go ahead and have bring the other one forward, and then I'll pop back to that June discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next is an application from Lavender Farm Wellness, represented here today by Brendan Jellison, and they've applied to have a sunrise yoga class at 6 a.m. on June 25th at the bandstand. This is a one-time yoga class, not recurring, and it would be over by 7 a.m., which then Bettina's recurring class starts at 7:30 after that. This class would be for 14 participants, and it's a paid class led by Chip Davis, who is a local yogi in our community. And then for any questions, I can pass it off to Brendan to answer.
I don't have any questions, Meryl or Nikki.
No, nothing for me.
The only thing I might add is that usually when we deal with things down at Children's Beach, that they are open to the public. Should someone want to join in, it's always been kind of the policy if somebody's using the park because there's a public space. That when we've done this in the past, but the White Elephant ran a yoga class as part of the Wine Fest a few years ago, and they agreed that should people want to come and attend, that they were open and willing to let them do so. I don't envision a lot of people at 6 a.m. Aside from the people specifically signed up, but that's always just kind of a policy of the space.
Okay, thank you for letting us know.
Brandon, that's okay with you, I take it?
Yes, that would be okay with me. I don't foresee much of that
Okay.
happening, but if somebody was sort of insistent.
Okay,
I guess
Great.
if I did have the committee's attention, I had this one event, this one group come forward, but I was also curious if there'd be interest in maybe having a reoccurring morning class before Bettina's, that would be like open to the public and.
I don't think there would be anything preventing it.
No.
Bettina's, been running her class for 20+ years. I don't
Yeah.
think she would care if anybody goes.
long as it's-
Beforehand, if there's early risers, if that's something you're interested in doing, is reoccurring.
As long as the
Set
bandstand's
up with all
clean.
the policies usually just ask, they take, Bettina always takes a roll and count of people in order to settle up at the end of the season. Count for fees collected. So if
Okay.
it's something we can get all the paperwork for you. We'd be happy to add the class.
and I think you just want to make sure that you're not in each other's way at the end
Right.
of yours and the beginning of theirs. That would be the only challenge if there is one.
Okay.
And so I would encourage you, if that's what you want to do, to make that application, and we'll hear that again for a recurring one. Because this is on the agenda, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not trying to add something to the agenda.
Yeah, great.
Chantal
Okay.
had her hand raised.
Chantal, I don't see it on mine.
It's my little teeny tiny virtual hand.
Okay.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that Brandon has been working with Bettina on her classes, so they do have a relationship, and he's been helping her with virtual bookings of her class. So,
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I've been talking with. I have a booking system, and I've actually been working to bring Bettina onto the booking system to sort of give it a technology lift, because that's not her forte, and help to generate more interest for her class.
That's great.
Yeah,
And now I have my participants list on, so I can see you when you raise your hand, Chantal. So hearing no more questions, I'll be happy to entertain a motion.
yeah.
Thank you, Meryl, and
I
second.
second that.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. So Brandon, you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Ms. Weatherly, I think you're all set.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So now, thanks to Meryl, we'll go back and talk about the June meeting date discussion. I'm not sure if that was something, Charlie, you wanted to talk about, or whether Maureen had that as a question.
I think she had it as a question because our normal meeting time would be June 19th, which is Juneteenth, and is a holiday. So for town employees. So I think the question would be, do we want to move either forward 1 week to the 12th or move back 1 week to the 26th? Maintain our same Thursday at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I do think moving it, given the conflict of that date, is probably a good idea. I personally will be off island on the preceding week. But I can do it because we're, we can do it remote. Meryl or Nikki, do you have a preference?
I'm easy. I can do either or, so whatever works for most I'm fine.
Meryl?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I will talk to Maureen. We'll check the meeting schedule. And,
Yeah, please do that, and then you can let us know, but we'll know that it will be on either side of the presently scheduled meeting date.
Excellent.
Right.
Great. Okay, thank you. And I think absent any other applications, unless Chantal has anything for us, that we will go to Charlie's report.
Sure, so, it's not so much a report as, kind of a request of, commissioners, I'd like to, if you could, and I'm willing to if we had to kind of get brought up, maybe driving around with me to individual sites, I'm happy to
Yeah.
do that, organize, meets with, we can do groups of 2. If
Yeah.
you want to do, we're happy to do it individually, but my thought was to visit the sites that are controlled by Parks and Rec, kind of develop some future programming for what we might like to see, as, added to these parks locations such as Essex, the Winter Park there.
Yep.
Some ideas for how to improve more things down at Jetties. Tom Nevers, we're like 95% complete on this new
Yeah.
playground that's being installed. The factory screwed up a weld on kind of an integral part in the middle that's preventing us from opening the structure. But we hope to have that open, hopefully by the end of the month.
Awesome.
I can't wait to get the phone calls from the people who live out in Tom Nevers. You can't miss it when you come around the corner. It's got a shade structure above it, which is something I really wanted after hearing and talking to my sister, who has young kids and other people that, if you have a park, like Codfish Park, in Wisconsin, has no
Yeah.
shade structure. And it's essentially unusable
Right.
in the middle of the day because it's so hot.
It's too hot. Yeah.
So we added a shade structure out at Tom Nevers to give so that this becomes a more useful
That's awesome.
thing. So it's just a matter of ideas. If there's something you'd like to see somewhere like the beach volleyball court or something like that, just looking for ideas that we can kind of build, either take that I can build out with the commission's blessing, either take into capital or to CPC funding, for next year.
Yeah.
So those kind of now between in September is when CPC stuff is due.
Yep.
They haven't given us a date on capital yet. Hopefully it'll be September. Last year they snuck it in early at the end of June. But if you're driving around, just feel free to email me. I'd like to see maybe a swing set here or something like that, and try to develop some more recreation where we can.
That's awesome.
So Charlie, in terms of scheduling that site visit for 2 people at a time, and that's because we don't want to establish a quorum. I think I'll remind commissioners that if Charlie sends an email out asking for a time for you, that you respond individually and not reply to all. Because replying to all constitutes communication, right?
Right.
And please include Jesse in that, who's not with us today, but it's easy to forget. And then I think it'd be an excellent idea. We can drive out there, but sometimes when you drive out, you're not always sure what you're looking at or what the plan is. So I
We have the first Parks and Rec vehicle has finally been delivered.
Oh, yay.
It took us about 3 weeks to get it registered.
Yeah.
And I don't venture to guess how long it will take us to get inspected. But the first Parks and Rec official vehicle has arrived.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm waiting to
Yay.
Transfer over to that hopefully next week. So
Great.
Have a vehicle to drive around. It's
Great.
Very official.
Yeah,
So
I'd
I will
love to.
email the commissioners, to bounce the dates off.
Great.
And then we'll go from there.
Wonderful, thank you,
Excellent.
thank you. Do you have other things to report today, Charlie?
That was pretty much the big one. Was just wanting to get that on everyone's radar, start thinking about different projects. We didn't have anything big really Parks and Rec wide at town meeting. We did reappropriate $75,000 for tennis court crack repair, which we hopefully won't need for 25 years.
Right.
We've reappropriated that to the skate park.
Oh, great.
Because that needs some improvements in there. It's starting to show its age a little bit. So that'll be one of my projects coming up once we turn the fiscal calendar, to get some quotes to kind of get in there and fix a lot of the coping and some of the concrete work and that sort of stuff. The tennis courts will officially open next weekend. excited
Is
for.
there,
Yeah.
is there an event on that, or is it just a soft opening?
It'll just be a soft opening. I was gonna try to get some like golden tennis rackets and something, but I think as busy as it is, we'll have it kind of open up. People can reserve a court at nantuckettennis.com. You can also through nantuckettennis.com book coaching with coaches from the tennis loft if you'd like, or if you have somebody independently who you'd like to have coach. We ask that just anybody reach out to me, just so we can get copies of their certificates and insurance.
Yeah.
I teach on the course to make sure that they are at least a certified professional to teach for either tennis or pickleball. So very, very excited to have that open up.
That's awesome.
Small in the news, we
Save that.
the town social media, the children's beach repairs have been completed on the playground structure. I just finished assembling swings for all the playgrounds, which hopefully will start being deployed tomorrow. Some updated updates for Winter Park, the Jetties Beach, and Children's Beach. We've got a couple of fun swings that if you're a parent and have a child, instead of having to stand there and push them in that little
Yeah.
four-legged structure, you can actually have a seat on the other side for the adults. You can
Right.
swing with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So those are getting ready to be deployed. It's never would I have thought that the cost of playground equipment was so much, or the lead time to acquire these things. It's
Yeah.
not as a quick, simple phone call and they show up the next day. But as we're deploying all these new ones, I'll start ordering some backups to have just
Yeah.
on the shelf.
Now you
should
know.
Things go down instead of trying to play catch up and get a little bit more proactive. with it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
Great.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that report. Commissioners, any questions for Charlie?
No questions. Just want to say thank you for honestly, everything that you're doing, and it's getting ready for this summer. It's going to be amazing. I do have a thought actually, with you saying it going on social media, would we be able to share it on our social media and say, oh my goodness, the tennis courts are opening at such and such a time? Is that okay?
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you could reshare the towns.
That'd be great. Okay,
The
good.
town is always the town of Nantucket social media, both on Facebook
Perfect.
and Instagram, reshare
Yep.
on the individuals if you like.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. Yeah, I'll do that.
Merrill, anything?
No, I'm excited to see the tennis course though and book something online. I don't play tennis, but my husband loves it. So, and he was like saying how he wants somewhere to play tennis that is not a yacht club. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Right. I wonder if at some point in the future, the tennis team will go back to those courts, or whether they will be able to keep the arrangement with the private club to play on clay. Do you have any insider information on that, Charlie?
Well, so I know, the girls team plays on the new courts at the high school.
Okay.
The boys team, I believe, is still playing on the clay, although they have to play, if they make the tournament, they have to play on hard courts.
Right.
I did actually get a call from Tina about the possibility to use the brand new courts for a girls tennis match last week. We weren't able to do so because we're in the final weeks of our curing for the top coating, and apparently what they're running into with the new tennis courts is if there's a baseball game going on at the same time, every now and again they get foul balls raining down onto the courts,
Right.
which makes it tough to have a tennis match at the same time as a baseball game.
Right.
That's interesting because we moved the baseballs so they weren't hitting foul balls into the parking lot of the high school anymore. So
Yeah, it may, I haven't gone down to see the new courts. I wonder if it may just be maybe an adjustment to the backstop netting, or maybe they can add something to the tennis court just to prevent
right.
that.
So,
We'll obviously support the school with any needs they may have. Any updates. Oh, we did get approved. It was on select board last night. We got a new fancy sports line painting robot on the way.
Fantastic.
What is it?
Wow.
We've got
What-
a line painting robot for the sports fields. Which will allow us to, the school is actually getting one too, I'll tip my hand on that. So in order to cut down on, right now, it takes a person to say, we'll just talk about the respray of a lacrosse field, takes an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This robot can do the layout of the field.
Yeah.
Which the layout will take 2 to 3 guys.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours to make sure they get all the arcs correct.
Right.
In 27 minutes. This robot
Amazing.
can spray the field, and it's, I forget the percentage more efficient on paint than it is. So we just got the contract done. So we're very excited because right now we spray the fields in the beginning, and we kind of put the burden on the youth coaches to maintain them.
Right.
We just don't have the manpower. But the hope is now, as it has them to do it, we'll be able to have one person from the DPW go out and basically with an iPad.
Amazing.
Set this thing up and just hit play, and it'll go out and spray, and the accuracy of the respray
Yeah.
is unreal. And so we're
So
very
awesome.
excited to have that come out. It will provide a better product for the youth sports. I know that the high school is extremely excited to get theirs.
Yeah.
And then
Having,
the high school got the same package we did, but it also will do, it's in the beta testing, we'll have the technology to replay parking lots, which for the DPW would be great. It's part of
Wow.
an annual thing to be able to go down and refresh, the parking lot, nobody here every year.
Oh, wow.
That's it, to have, again, a crew of 2 or 3 guys out there pulling lines and measuring, to be able to just set this thing loose.
Yeah.
It'll be real excited for it.
Amazing.
Having lined soccer fields for over 20 years. That makes me smile because there'll be a new generation of people who won't know how to use the Pythagorean theorem, which was always how we figured out the corners of each of the fields, but with a robot. But that's wonderful news. I didn't think that technology was out there, but that's terrific.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're looking forward to it. It'll be able to spray the lacrosse fields, any different variant of soccer, baseball. It's really great. It allows us to tweak where the fields are a little bit each year, so that we can kind of move
Oh, wow.
like where the goalie is for lacrosse, hoping we'll do a kind of twist. Right now the fields get laid out the same way every time because the boxy shape of the field makes that, running that first line a little easy. You need to kind of measure off a couple fence posts, be able to take that, twist it 20 degrees so the goalie's not standing in the same spot every year. All
Wow.
these great things for the field.
Yeah,
Really excited about it.
great.
Awesome.
Okay, David, did you have anything? I didn't mean to skip you in.
No, I'm good, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep. Then I think we're at a point where I can adjourn this meeting, and I will thank everybody for attending, and we'll see you at some point in June.
Yes, I'll be
Great.
on for dates and then to organize five rounds.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.